of people want to use force on women. And you know one thing? There is nothing as difficult as trying to force a woman.
Yeah.
Where women don't want to go. Hey, Baba.
This one is.
You have.
I agree with you.
See, let me tell you something. As weak, the Bible says that women are weaker vessels. Try to control that weaker vessel.
You know how difficult
That's
it is.
when you know that women are stubborn. So, if you are able to appeal to their sense of reason, if this man was able to appeal to the sense of his wife reason and say, okay, this house that we're building, I know you need this convenience, I know you need this comfort, I know you need to get everything that you want to get. But there is a way we can go about it.
Absolutely.
Right? I'm working, I'm earning money. You too. Let's find something that you can do and earn your own small money so that you settle this, and at the end of the day, we pull our income together, we achieve more. If the man is that sensible to communicate with wife, he will not have to raise his voice. Women usually come as our people call it nyando, a mud, a sand that has been mixed with water. Yeah. So it's where you plaster it that it will stay. So if you are able to fine-tune the woman, she will come to a point where she begins to reason like you.
Also, try to empower their wife.
Right.
Yes, it might not really be so easy, especially for the woman to adjust to having a business of her own, having to do something that she's the boss of. It's not going to be easy to do something on your own. Yes, do something. Yeah. So empowering your wife too is also one of the things that would help to avoid, all of those things. When you empower your wife, you will get the best out of her. Even if she doesn't like it, just do it. There are many things you don't like. It's not sweet. But at the end of the day, the end is going to be beautiful and you will love it.
You see this idea she has, that's what a lot of our young ladies lack. If you think I'm joking, just call a young lady at random and say, come, what are the ideas you have? What are your plans? You realize that a lot of our girls, the only plan they have is to buy wig and wear. They don't have plan, wig and bag. That's the only plan they have. And shoe. They don't have plan for, there's no plan, there's no means of, they don't believe, most of their prayer points is, let me meet the right man.
When the element of sacrifice is taken out of marriage, the essence and the charm of the relationship fades away, leaving it flavorless and lifeless. With that salient quote, I welcome you to Faith and Reason on Voice of One TV, a program tailor-made to convey truth in simplicity and in accuracy. I welcome you once more. My name is Samuel Ebo, and I will not be doing this alone. I have in the studio AJOSE, the beautiful one.
Thank you so much, Sam. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be running this show with you. I'm so glad to be here again.
Yeah.
And to you, my viewer, welcome, welcome, welcome. In case you're just joining us for the first time, trust me, you are in love, because today is going to be very interesting. I hope we don't wound anybody on the set again, but trust me, it's going to be fun. Real conversations, insightful and interesting. All right, so with me in the studio again, they are not strangers. We have Tokuma Bakura and Jane Emmanuel.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting us. Thank you for inviting us.
I'm so glad. You look like you gym today. You look very puffed up. Please watch my head. Watch my head, okay? So how are you doing today, Tokuma?
Well, bless God. Today has been good. In fact, the whole week has been awesome for me, especially because I've been able to connect with a lot of friends.
Nice.
That it's been a while, and for some reason I just bumped into an old-time friend, and then we started connecting to old time. So it's been fun for me, remembering all the things we did in secondary school, who flogged who, how we broke into lockers, and all those things.
It's very interesting going back memory lane.
Yes, I do that too.
Yeah, there was time, I think recently we went through some old pictures. We're seeing pictures of old times, school, when we're younger and the rest. And it was so beautiful. And I know how reconnecting with old friends can feel. Like it feels, sometimes it doesn't, you know that the time stops for a moment.
Yeah,
like you just want to go back in time and then relieve. And even when you have grievances with some of these people, like it's no longer there.
It doesn't matter anymore.
It doesn't matter anymore. Like you know that the bullying has stopped, all of that has stopped, and it's just life happening to everyone. And I think it's very interesting.
And you know, one thing is, if not that God arrested us, then we used to have this in our hostel. We used to have this bunch of keys that, you know, when people misplace their keys, so we keep piling it, and it created a very large bunch. So if you want to open your locker, we don't have to. We just keep testing until we get the one that we open. So as SS3,
thank God the Lord arrested you.
As SS3 students, we say everybody you must go to the class, and while everybody is in the class, we keep testing. We take milk here, take biscuits here, take gari here, and
that's poise.
Enjoy.
I really thank God for this guy's life, because if you hear some of his stories, you're like, oh God. Thank God, because honestly, I was sharing it. I said, thank God for Tokuma, because thank God in our this guy would have done for us. And to be very good. But then I'm really grateful for your life, and your stories are so real. And like people need, young people who are like doing a lot of funny things now need to learn from you, because there's a lot they can learn from you.
God saw my trajectory. You know, one of the things one thing I am, or let me say one thing I am not. I'm not a part-time person in anything. So anything I'm doing fully.
100%.
So if I'm a bad person today, it will be obvious that a bad man has entered.
Wow.
As I'm a good person, it's obvious that somebody has entered. That's how I am. I'm like Paul.
Jane, how about you? What's been happening on your end?
Okay, well, I am good. I have been exploring editing, video editing, and content creation, and it's been beautiful. You know, video editing is not easy. You know, the passion is there. One thing, when you are driven by passion for something, you give it your best. Like there are times you even inconvenience yourself to just do this thing because you want to go all out for it. There are times that I'll be at home when it's, you know, bedtime, I'm supposed to be resting, and then there's one idea that comes to me, like immediately I will want to go to and start editing. I want to do it there before I forget. So before the idea, you know, vanishes into thin air, and also I try to, you know, do it even when it's convenient and when it's not. That's the thing about passion. When it's convenient and when it is not convenient, you just go all out to want to give it your best. And it's been a lot for me. I've been learning so much. Many times when I am lost, I reach out to a few persons who are experienced, have, you know, one or two things about editing, and I'm so glad I'm learning. I'm so glad. There are many ideas that comes to my head, and sometimes I take it to these guys. I'm like, is it possible to achieve? Because it's all in my head. But then I don't know if it is possible because I've not gotten to the advanced stage. It's all in my head.
Well, I may want to seize this opportunity to bring a little bit of advice on video editing. You know, one of the things I've noticed that video editing is addictive. The more you start doing it, creativity is like a pool. When you enter it, you just want to explore every dimension of it. So, but for the care of your eyes, so if you can adopt the use of photochromic lenses to avoid, if not, I've seen people edit and after like 2 hours, 3 hours, their eyes are red. So I always advise. I
had one experience like that, and I was wondering why I did not. It actually got me to, you know, realize why the editors I have around me, why they actually wear those photographic glasses and all. I went with headache. I went with headache.
But it is well. However, I really like the place where you are exploring versatility. It's a very beautiful place to be. You know, like when you are touching different places and you are being good at it. There's something about versatility that opens doors for you that many people don't know or understand. I'm multi-talented myself, and there are many times where for the fact that maybe one thing is not working, I can touch another side, I can do, and it's very, very beautiful that you're exploring that side, so that with time, if you begin to get good at it, who knows, you can begin to make money. And there are people who are content creators and video editors and video content creators with their phones, and they're being paid in hundreds of thousands. I have a friend who is in Makodi, she's one of the best and biggest content creators in Makodi. She does weddings, events, and I don't pay her small money. Wow. So yes, so it's another platform to make money if you want to grow in it. It can be your another side income for
of
you.
course.
And please, when it's time, pay tithes.
Oh my goodness.
All right, what's been happening?
It's been fun so far, getting to understand the dynamics of life and how that your greatest asset as a person is yourself in terms of self-development now. People may not believe, but you have to believe. People may not see what you're getting into, what you're building, but you have to believe. And for me personally, I'm just taking my time to work on myself, get to become the best version of myself on a daily basis. That's just my obsession for now.
That's beautiful. I like. Growth is happening on every side, and I like what is going on. Well, today's conversation is going to be a very interesting one. But before we dive in, let's go on this quick break. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Thank you for staying with us, and if you're just tuning in, this is Faith and Reason on Voice of One TV. Do well to follow us on all our social media platforms at Voice of One TV, and trust me, you would not regret it. Trust me. All right, we have a very interesting video we would like for you to see. That's going to guide our conversation. Take a look.
The worst thing I've heard in my life was a woman coming to me to tell me, Mom, my husband is threatening me that I should leave the house. If I don't leave the house before 5 o'clock, he will kick me out. What did you do? I said, because I asked him for money to buy sanitary towel, and he told me not to come close to his face. So I went to his wallet and I took the money, and he started screaming at me. I said, how much did you take, please? I was expecting to hear 50K, 100, 200. How much? True life story, 2,000 naira. And I said to her, oh my goodness, celebrate your husband for me. He said, Ma, why? I'm not partnering with any abuse, but celebrate him because he's calling you to a higher ground. He's telling you to look into yourself. There is something there. There's nobody that was wired by God to become a burden to someone else. See, marriage does not give it a sexually transmitted money. Money is not sexually transmitted. The Lord expects us to flourish financially.
All right.
Amazing.
When I watched this clip, I had a lot. We talk about women empowerment because that's a movement on its own. But I was pained because when I heard this story, and being that the woman insisted that it was a true life story, I was really pained because that man doesn't deserve to be called a husband. I don't have a problem with women having their own money. It's very important. Going back in time, when I was growing up, I was just in secondary school at the time. I didn't know anything. And there was this tenant of ours that was trying to get married, and his wife came around, and she was going to cook. He stepped out, and she was going to cook. And matches finished. Then I was in secondary school. Matches was 5 naira. 5 naira. Highest 10 naira at the time. And this match is finished, and she walked back into the room, and I heard her calling the man, Oga, matches don't finish you. I was angry. Mind you, I was just in secondary school. I was making my own money, but I was really annoyed that, babe, it's just 10 naira. Go and buy the matches. You're calling this man from his office to go and buy. To come and buy 10 naira worth of matches. Come on, that was annoying. But then, here's the part that I'm really offended by this story. You, as a husband, have signed up to protect, to provide. And at the point where you decide that you are going to marry this person, you already know this person's financial capacity. And if this person comes to you for help, the first thing to do is to tell the person to get out of my face. I was really heartbroken by that. No problem. That's why I will always say that women should have their own money. May person no carry you rough. I have to go into kitchen because of that. No, it's very, very important. And then if you are a husband, whether the woman has money or not, as long as you climb the altar in the presence of God and the presence of witnesses, you sign up, say, see this woman and everybody that comes after her, through her, I'm responsible for them. Even though you want to say, and God did not design anybody to be a burden to anybody, you be a person husband.
Yeah.
You are meant to. Like, if this person asks you for help at that period, if you can reach out for help, go on and help. That's where I came from. If you have anything contrary, because not even contrary, you have to agree with me on that.
Okay, well, I agree. To an extent, I actually agree with you because that man. But for crying out loud, the husband and the wife, I believe they had conversation, you know, they spoke, they had communication as, okay, as a wife, this is what you will do for me. If he wants the wife to be a full housewife, yes, we understand. But then as a woman, you're supposed to know that, okay, be wise though. If your husband gives you like 50K, try to economize the money and have small change inside so that you will not go and embarrass. How will you call your husband for 10 naira to get matches? No, that is really absurd. For me, it really doesn't make any sense. Okay, but for the man now, okay, that man, he needs to give his life to Christ. Why will he say his wife should
get out of it?
At that period, you know what happens to women in their period time.
Like really, why will you tell your wife to get out of your face?
Okay.
Why? Because of 10 naira.
No, in this case, this lady get out of. She needed to buy sanitary towels.
Oh yes, sanitary towels.
She needed to get sanitary towels, and she met her husband.
Okay.
Please, sir.
I made a request.
Okay, let me use myself as an instance. Before you people come and enter my. let me talk. Now I'm going to speak from experience. Before I started working, then I was not doing anything. I was not working. It was just my husband I had. Then my husband, you know, is into AC. Yeah, he has an AC company and also he does all of those CCTV and all. So he was the one bringing, you know, to the house and yes. And you know, these things are based on when he gets contracts. He's not. Yes. So when he gets contracts, that's when road red everywhere go green. So there are times that, you know, we need things in the house, maybe we need to get groceries and all of that, and he gives me money for the month. I get things. When I go to the market, if you see me bargaining, I will cut whatever is in my list is what I will get. But if you see me bargaining, I'm bargaining because I need some for myself, please, because so that, you know, I'll be saving somewhere in the corner and all of that. So that things like sanitary pad, I will not go and ask my husband for it.
Are you trying to say that in this case, this woman should have been saving a little bit of money?
Even the Bible admonishes us to be wise. We need to be wise, for crying out loud. It is clear. Your husband you need to have some sense. Come on.
Well, sorry, Sam, before you get to see what you want to see.
No, I'm with you.
I think the first thing is that I saw the passion with which Ehigochi was describing how she felt about this man. I knew that if that man was maybe your sister's husband, you near that house, if you would have been able to administer elbow.
You will tell the story.
But first of all, I want us to look at it holistically.
Okay.
I'm not in support of the man. Of course, I have a lot of scriptural backing that will rebuff the action of the man. But come to think of it, that man knows his wife. Do you understand? I don't know the background of the man. I don't know if he's a Christian or a believer. Of course, if that woman is reporting to her mother in the Lord, it means that the woman is a believer and her husband is likely
to be a believer,
a churchgoer. But it's possible that the man knows his wife. Maybe he has tried everything possible to help her. I know of a situation where a lady was done with university and her husband said, let me get you a business to do. So he tried to start up a business for her. She said all she wants to do is to work in an office. And they kept applying, work did not come. And every day she's collecting money. And the man wants to start a business for her. Let's do perfume, let's do this one, let's do the one. The girl say, I don't want to do any business. Let somebody not insult me. Let somebody not. She's not willing to go all out. So some of these kinds of things, for the man to be that angry, you will know that
there is a track record.
There is a track record of that woman being nonchalant with income. Listen to me. I know sometimes when we quote scripture, we say a man should provide for the house. But the Bible did not say a man. It said any. Any that fails to provide for the home is worse than an infidel. Some women have taken laziness as a profession. I'm not in support of the man right now, but I'm saying that there are some women that have taken laziness as a new profession. So they just want to sleep, they just want to relax. Just as men can be lazy also, some women are much more lazy. When you try to help them, they don't even need help. They just want everything to be solved. Why should I suffer when I've married you? Why should I do this? I've married. I'm a woman. I'm a woman is not a reason why I should not be hardworking.
They feel like since they have married you now, they don't eat jackpot.
So I've married, and you know, that's the reason. That's one of the reasons why most of the young ladies today, they make marriage decisions based on the financial stability of the man, so that when they enter the marriage, they will just relax, and the man will provide everything.
But I want to ask a question, just so that you will continue with that flow of thought. Please, I just want to chip this in. Looking at the approach of the man, okay, let's say the woman has a track record of laziness, of slothfulness now. Looking at the approach of the man, is that the best approach in order to attend or to address that situation? It is not. And the reason why I'm saying that is one of the pillars of a good marriage is communication.
Right.
Yeah. So why would you shut your wife down because she made a request? So I just wanted to flow with that a little bit.
Yes,
is the approach a good one? Is it a wrong one? And how do subsequently, I know you're not married yet, but I know you're making plans.
Of course.
What is the best approach?
I want to be a good husband.
Yes, I love that. What is the best approach for that kind of
I first of all, I think the man did not approach the case right. The man is not even functioning in his fullest ordination as a man.
Yeah.
Because I believe a man is a teacher. Even without getting married, the women around me, I teach them. I teach my younger sister. I say, come, this is your life that you are living like you don't have plans. What are your plans? Come, let's fine-tune your plans. I bring her plans together, fine-tune it. Okay, you are doing perfume business. She does perfume, sells perfume online. I say, this perfume business that you are doing, no, this is not how to go about it. You are not online. Majority of the people that we buy from you are not the people you see. Your neighbors there, they will borrow. They will collect it and they will be running.
So a man should be a teacher by nature.
So a man, first of all, must
be a teacher.
If you are the head of your home, you must be willing to discuss with your home and to tell them how the home should run. So you see that man, if he was careful enough to teach his wife how to do what he plans. You know, sometimes people say women are stubborn, but it's not always that women are stubborn. How good are you a teacher? You know, I met one very stubborn lady that don't hear anybody. They say, this one, she's very stubborn. The day I sat her down and said, let's have a conversation. This thing is about the betterment of your life. If you do your life like this is how it will turn out. It will not, your mom that you are trying to hurt, she has lived her life and she will die and go. You are still here. If you continue on this trajectory, where are you going to end? Do you understand? Now, a lot of people want to use force on women. And you know one thing? There is nothing as difficult as trying to force a woman. Where women don't want to go. Hey, Baba.
This one is,
you have
agree with you.
See, let me tell you something. As weak, the Bible says that women are weaker vessels. Try to control that weaker vessel. That's when you know that women are stubborn. So, if you are able to appeal to their sense of reason, if this man was able to appeal to the sense of his wife's reason and say, okay, this house that we're building, I know you need this convenience, I know you need this comfort, I know you need to get everything that you want to get, but there is a way we can go about it.
Absolutely.
Right? I'm working, I'm earning money. You too, let's find something that you can do and earn your own small money so that you settle this, and at the end of the day, we pull our income together, we achieve more. Don't you want to ride a Benz? You want to ride a Benz, right? This is how we go about it. If the man is that sensible to communicate with wife, he will not have to raise his voice. Women usually come as our people call it nyando. Nyando means a mud, a sand that has been mixed with water. So it's where you plaster it that it will stay. So if you are able to fine-tune the woman, she will come to a point where she begins to reason like you.
Tokuma, please, thank you so much. I love that. But I want to also hear from Jane as regards that. Okay, Jane, you are a woman and probably you've been in a situation where you needed resources and then you had to call your husband. What was the approach he deployed to ensure that you got the resources, but at the same time, it brought some level of wisdom, because the Bible says in Proverbs 24, it says, through wisdom a house is built. So by understanding it is established. So what approach as a woman now?
Okay.
The one on the receiving end.
Okay.
What do you think is the best approach to attend to this?
Okay. So let me start by saying,
Always the early.
before I got married to my husband, we had discussions, we had conversations, we spoke about things, we spoke about the things we want to do. We spoke about it. Okay, he asked me, what are the things you would like to do? Are there businesses? Because I was not working. Of course, there was no, if you say, okay, let me start employing. I didn't get any job before my marriage. I didn't get any job after I got married. Immediately after I got married, it was into the marriage I got my job. So the thing is, we had conversation. We spoke about things.
Yeah.
You need to talk.
Yeah.
You need to talk. I heard Pastor Jed speaking about something. I think his wife was talking about how about majority of the times in a relationship and even in marriage, it's communication. Communication is what is done most of the times. So we spoke about these things. He asked me, okay, what do you want to do? I told him the things I love and I would love, the things I would love to venture into. And he took note of them, including my musical career and every other thing I want to do. So he took note of them and he was working towards them. So if we didn't have this conversation, he would not know where to, put his investments and all of that. I think into our marriage, one of the times, he asked me, he called me, said, okay, about this thing you talk about, you starting a business. He asked me, okay, what business would you like to try out? And as at the time, I wanted to go into hair business, which I eventually did. So he told me, okay, how do I want to achieve it? He asked me, I told him, we're sitting chatting like friends, like couples. I told him what I wanted to do, and he was okay. And then he gave me the money to start it. I think as at then, I was like, he gave me like 100K to start up the business. It was not too big, but this is my husband's. It was something, yes. So this was me. I was not willing to. I was not somebody that wanted to just relax at home. In fact, from the one I was not.
Now,
before we even got married, I did something. Before we got married. My husband was, when we moved into the house, when he got the place we were staying and all, furnished the house, he got things, furnitures and all, and many things, to make the house look, comfortable. So, as at the time, that was before we got married. I had not gotten. My husband was not really concerned about things in the kitchen. He didn't even ask me, said. So me as a woman, that was my body.
As usual.
It was my body. So what he used to do then, I used to have little money. Then I just finished NYC, so I had to have money from my friends, families, and little things I was doing. I was making wigs for people then. To tell you how I was into hair, I used to make wigs for people and all. So before we got married, I had saved up some money. And then I said, my kitchen stuffs, I'm going to get them myself. I'm not going to tell my husband, I need to buy spoon, or I need to. And then there was this, because how we take our husband special and all. There was this spoon I saw in the market, golden spoon. In fact, I saw it in my mama's house one of the time. And then I saw how she treats many things. In fact, there was this special thing for her husband I had learned from it. So I wanted to get them myself to treat my husband specially. So I said I was going to buy this thing, man. I'm the one that knows how, what I need and all of that. So I told myself that I'm going to get these things myself. So I started saving money. And then I got those things. And then for my kitchen, I got those things for my kitchen. So one of the times we met, and then he saw the things there. I told him, I bought them more. Dustbin, baskets, things that you need in your kitchen. My plates, my spoon, I got everything without asking him for a penny.
Right.
So I had a mindset that, okay, yes, I know he's going to get to provide, but then let me just support.
Now,
so
just to cut you, sorry, not to cut you. I mean, you see this idea she has. That's what a lot of our young ladies lack. If you think I'm joking, just call a young lady at random and say, come, what are the ideas you have? What are your plans? You realize that a lot of our girls, the only plan they have is to buy wig and wear. They don't have plan, wig and bag. That's the only plan they have. And shoe. They don't have plan for, there's no plan, there's no means of, they don't believe, most of their prayer points is, let me meet the right man.
A rich man.
Let me meet a rich man.
A rich man.
Let me meet a rich man. They don't have their own plans. When you say business, they are not learning anything. They are not. I can see that Jane was even trying to learn, editing. It means that on her own, she's thinking of something. That example of that woman, that example of that woman is one of these slave queens. The man got married to a slave queen. I'm telling you, he got married to a slave queen.
What if
and
she was not a slave
he was
queen?
already bitter. The man was already,
what if she was not? What if he just brought her from the village somewhere and kept her in the house?
It doesn't look like she's a village woman.
So for a moment, there are some men who will insist that my wife shouldn't work. I will do all the providing.
Of course, there are men like that.
Home to raise the children. She doesn't need to work.
I, for one, am that kind of man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for one, personally, you know, one of the things about me is that I've told you before that I like to look at things holistically from balanced angles. Personally, if I have the means, if God blesses me to the level I want God to bless me, I don't want my wife to work. The family is enough work already. You take care of the children, bathe them, do their assignments, cooking and everything. And me, for one, I like fresh food. So, and all those kind of stress. If you have to stress like that on a daily basis, I think it's full-time job already. Yeah, I think it's full-time job already. But in a case where we are still managing and you have to work so that the family will be balanced, please work. Please work. Don't be sleeping 24-hour work. That's why I'm not a useless husband. I will try my best that, okay, there are places that I need to help you chip in. I see some men say, we cannot remove pampers. Men in our...
You made a comment.
Men don't used to do this.
Okay, I want to ask a question along the line of that comment. You said majority of the ladies out there, which I don't believe, okay, I believe there are ladies that are responsible and honorable. But you said majority of the ladies out there, they've not been taught the importance of honing their marriage and honing their relationship with the idea of making plans towards it. So I want to ask now, is this a cultural issue, or is it more like a wrong foundation home-wise?
I think it can be a mindset issue.
It's more mindset issue.
Environment can actually... Social media environment really influence people. The kind of things you see around you give you one fantasy in your mind.
So the internet is selling fantasy to you.
Of course.
Man of God, wait. It is. Let me explain to you. You see, social media now is where everybody is learning anything.
I'm telling you.
It's where everybody, what the ladies are. See, I mentor a lot of small young girls in the area. I used to have a prayer group that they come. So sometimes I get to hear things even their parents, they can't tell. I call them, okay, you, what's your problem? You, what's this? And I realize that most of them don't have anything in their head so far. What they are seeing is what is on IG. I tell you the truth. And it is the luxury. They forget that people like James sit down to edit. They don't show you the real things. They edit some things. They cut the ones that they don't like out and give you what is polished. What you see online is polished. So people will not tell you their struggles. They just tell you their arrival, and you see their arrival, you just want to be like them. Now see, some of those are young ladies. Some of those are young ladies. At a very tender age, they start desiring things that their hands cannot reach, their hands cannot afford. A girl in SS3 is thinking of iPhone XR, iPhone 12, iPhone, you know.
SS3 is too far.
How will you buy iPhone when your father is still living in a rented apartment, and that rented apartment is not, the money he's paying for the whole of that rent is not up to the price of an iPhone, and you want to have it? I don't know that I understand. So they already have expectations and desires that are bigger than their means. So they are tuned to using other means. Now they are used to getting things without working for it. This is how a lot of girls are. And if you ask them, they'll say that's their wiring. That's how they are wired to get.
Well, I'm glad you said some girls. Let me tell you.
Yeah, it's not all.
Yes,
it's not
because my story here is, my dad died when I was 9 years old. And in fact, the oldest of us was 10, and the youngest was 4. And we've seen premium shaggy, like oh my goodness, we've seen pain, we've seen poverty, like, you know, when you can recognize poverty, you look in the eye, you look back in the eye.
Yes, color.
You know the color of shirts he's wearing. We've seen hunger, we've seen pain, we've seen my mom go hungry just to make sure that we get to eat. You understand? And then my sisters, we have 3 girls and a boy. And all my sisters are doing well, really. So we had this mindset that first we look at the pain point from Momsi.
Yeah.
This woman is suffering. This woman goes days without food so that we don't eat. So we get to struggle. We started doing like entrepreneurship from a very young age. We're exploring things. Like me, at some point, people were complaining I didn't have focus. I was doing any and everything to make sure I was making money legitimately. Let me tell you something. I be fine girl. Yes, and I know how many men had reached out to me to be irresponsible, and these men would definitely change my life in a second. But then you know your pain point, you know where you're coming from. You know the kind of things that people have said about you and your mother. You know the fact that you are all girls, 3 girls, majority girls, and then you people are looking at you. This became, if you know the way you could get belly. You are looking at the things. Yes, if you're looking at the things that you need to prove people wrong about, and then you have to work hard. And I'm all for women being independent.
That's good.
Like you need to work hard to be independent. It's very, very important. I love what her story, the story she shared. How that I want to be able to, when you walk into my house and at any point, I want to change it for you, tell guy buy my pot. No, not just to brag.
Not to brag.
Not just to brag, but that you are coming in with a lot of support.
Yes.
You're coming in that, see, guy, we are partners. You are not alone.
Course,
I'm with you on this.
You are not making sense.
No, that's why I'm saying that when I came on hard like that was because I didn't appreciate the fact that this husband came off dismissive. But then I'm coming back to the place of agreeing with some certain form of have some independence. Have something that comes to you, like comes out of you that even if I don't have at this point, there are times that I don't have money, honestly, but you won't find me asking anybody. Nobody will know. There are days I come to the office, I'm not asking mine, but I do know that if I do 1 or 2 things, I press this button, I do this, I use my hand. I'm super versatile. There's nothing I cannot do.
That's right.
Just because I really needed to be in that place where nothing at any point, I'm not going to be in the place of vulnerability. You know one thing, your gender, there's no there's a way that will treat you because that you can't necessarily say no because money is coming from their hand, especially the ones that are very irresponsible.
No, okay. No,
there was a point.
Okay, see, but
she made a point.
I want to be sorry.
Let's stop because we need to.
I don't want to lose this.
Is my head safe?
You know, she said something, and I remembered an experience I had where I had finished university, and then I was waiting, to do my NYSC and all of that, and I told my dad I wanted to learn a skill. Yes, I didn't really have passion for sewing, but I just wanted to learn something because I knew that you need to hold something. You need to hold something in your hand because even God asked Moses, what do you have in your hand?
Your hand.
So God, I need something so that when there is no road here, I know I have something in my hand that can. So the thing is, I had an experience. So one time, the lodge I was staying with an auntie of mine. So there was somebody that was moving in. Somebody had moved out of the flat beside her. So the person that was going to come and move into that house came and met me outside. I was walking up the stairs and he came and asked me, do I know any cleaner around that can help him clean his house? Before that time, I had called my father for money. My father said he's not giving that. He told me to come back home. I don't want to come back home. And after that time, I just started following Christ. So I really wanted to know more. I wanted to be in an environment where yes, because I know once I go home, I would be lost. And I live in Lagos. Lagos will swallow you. If your foundation is in Christ, is not well rooted. So my father kept telling me, come back home. I didn't want to go home. I really wanted to learn a skill. I wanted to know God. There were a lot of things that started taking shape as it concerned my life. So there were a lot of things, and I was really passionate. I really wanted to know God more. I had people that I saw the zeal. They had so much zeal for the Lord and everything, and I wanted to follow that path as well. So I was willing to stay back, even if it meant him. As at the time, it was my father that I didn't know so much. It was also my dad, and also if it wasn't my dad sending me money or my mom, I don't have uncles, and I don't know where. But during my wedding, they all came to want to eat from. Okay.
Those village people.
Here's what happened. Because my father refused to send me money because I refused to come home, I I was broke. Like, I literally had not eaten anything that day. And the person came to me and said he was looking for a cleaner, someone that would clean his apartment for him. He was about to move in. And I said, okay, I'll look around for him and all of that. Then I was still learning my sewing and all. So I got back home and I had not eaten. I was hungry. I said, I'm not going to go and meet one Yahoo boy somewhere that will not come and use my life for something I don't know. Because I want something and all. I thought about it. I said, it's not too clean. It's not too clean. It's not too clean. I clean my father's house. I clean my father's house. I did not to. My mother told me to wake up and sweep the house, mop the house, wash the plate.
And it's not written on your forehead. Like,
my sister, I know how to clean. What do you want me to do? Wash here? God. I didn't believe myself. I called. When the person came, I told the person that, you need a cleaner. I can do the job. How much will you pay me? And that was how I ended up cleaning. And do you know how much he paid me? He paid me just 2,000 naira.
Wow.
2,000 naira. It was too small. But trust me.
You needed a resource.
Trust me. I knew it changed something. He gave me a different mindset. Yeah. I worked hard for my money.
Correct.
Like, I worked hard, and it made me also realize how hard our parents actually get to work to make sure that we are fine. It really pains me. Sometimes when I think about it, I want to cry. Because I'm like, was it this is what it took
for them to be able to...
for me to actually get just 2,000 naira just to eat. So I'm saying it out there because there's a mindset I have. There's a mindset I have.
Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
This is Faith and Wisdom on Voice of One TV. Jane, it's been an intense and interesting conversation. You were on your way dishing out a part of your story that I'm sure it's been an emotional one.
Yes, it has.
So I want you to continue with it.
It has. It really has for me. So, like I said, I was able to get that 2,000 naira. And trust me, that 2,000 naira, it didn't do much for me, but I appreciated it because it meant a lot to me because I really work hard. Like, I can still remember, I can still picture myself how I had to clean because that place was really messy. And I know the people that person that actually asked me for a cleaner, he was looking out for those people that will do anything to get even 1,000 naira.
Yeah.
Do you get? You know, there are cleaners out there like that. There are people out there that they're just looking for. So the money was going to pay the cleaner. It was what he said he was going to pay me. I thought it was something big. It was just 2,000 naira. That was how he gave me. And I want to use this opportunity to give a big shout out to parents out there who are really working hard to give their children the best they can give, to give their family, to give their home. You know, mothers, fathers, a big shout. I know I have seen women who have to do bricklaying work, you know, carry things on their head. They want to, that's talking about the independence aspect of women that want to bring to the home. And you know, this aspect too, there's a place in I come from Ebonyi State. There's a place in my state where men don't work. The women just go, do the labors and come back home and give their husbands food.
My God.
I'm telling you, they cross their legs at home. And the woman goes, does bricklaying work, does all the kind of dirty work, legal work. She stains her hands and comes back. The man is sitting outside chewing his stick and asks for food, and she still goes back to cook.
And bears
him children, backs children, and works, does bricklaying work. I've seen it. I've seen it. So we have men like that as well.
You know what I realized from what Jane just said now? The power of being responsible.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, everyone has a role to play when it comes to the growth, the development, the expansion of a relationship or the marriage.
Yeah.
But I want to say this on the side. I believe strongly that poverty has a way of stripping you of your dignity. I believe poverty has a way of making you vulnerable as a person. So there was one point he made while we were talking the other time about how important it is for one to be independent.
Yeah.
For the man, obviously, a man has to be independent. He has to have the resources to be able to ensure that the home is smooth, the home is running. So for the lady now, that's where my question is. Is it important, is it imperative? How vital it is for a woman to have not just the culture of independence, but the attitude of independence? How important it is? Let me start from TK. Jim, get ready to.
Okay, so I was actually
He's warming up to get me answer.
Take that from Ehi, but now that you have asked me, thank you very much. You see, in everything we do, there is moderation to it.
Okay.
You see, this culture of independence, it is what is making marriages to struggle these days. Women, I don't know, they've had a lot of motivational preachers online. I don't want to call them preachers, motivational people online that tell you you have to be an independent person. I'm my own boss. I'm the woman. I'm independent. You see all those trends. You know what is creating out of the future wives that we have? Stubborn women. Very, very stubborn women. A woman believes that now that I can buy my things, I should not be under any man. So if you are there as a man, you are just more or less a vegetable, or let's say equal. So if I choose to go out, I go out because I pay my bills, you don't pay your bills. Now, one of the things I always tell women is that no matter how much you have, you should keep allowance for the man to be a man.
Yeah, true.
You should keep allowance for the man to be a man, because if a man cannot say, sometimes I used to tell people that what makes your man or your husband the head of the house is that sometimes he can decide something and you don't understand it, but you just obey that it's my husband that said it.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you get it. Then later in the day, you come back and discuss it. That thing that you said in the afternoon, why did you say it? And then the man will say, okay, this is why. So if you don't give your husband that enough liberty, you are already setting up your home for destruction. I tell people, this independence thing, don't push it too much. I saw a video online where somebody was saying that if a woman does not live with somebody, don't marry her. If she's living alone, she's making her own plenty money, has her car, and is very successful, don't marry her because she will not. And even though I'm tilted to say it's a myopic thinking, but I've seen over time that women that are successful on their own, that are living on their own, they find it very difficult to submit to a man because they've calculated that without you, I'm able to survive. You know, that's what manhood has been reduced to. That's what being a man has been reduced to. Sure. Providing physical and financial gain. So the moment a woman can get that for herself, you can as well go to hell. So you see, I before you come in, I push this. That thing that is pushing women to go and hustle. Most of them, they are not hustling because they want to support their husband. They are hustling because if the man shout, they can shout. If the man say anything, I can pack my bag and go. How much are you giving me, by the way? So if that's the mindset, independence is not good. But if you are bringing out mindset that, okay, my husband is doing a lot, but let him not work alone. Let's work together. Let me also contribute something. It's good. But if you are bringing so that, you know, from what he was trying to say that I wanted to push so that they are always working so that our husband cannot tell us rubbish. That's not the idea. No. That's not the idea. So that a man cannot talk to me, talk down on me. That's not the idea.
I was not referring to so your husband cannot tell you nonsense. Now, I mean like in the dating pool.
Yes, you have started getting.
Yes. So Not like in the dating pool, I see a lot of people will make women do certain things that are not not necessarily what they would want to do.
Because they're the one providing.
They're the ones giving. I'm giving you money for transportation. I'm giving you money for cream. I'm giving you money for your hair and stuff like that. It's not necessarily because I want women to fight back, but have some sense of dignity.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Have some sense of dignity that if someone says you want you to do something that your morals, your discipline, your upbringing is against, just because he gives you 10,000 naira, you can say, oh God, no.
Doesn't mean she's too low.
No, so you're not saying that I'm because I have my money, I'm going to fight because you are in that position where I'm not dependent on you to survive necessarily.
Yeah.
I'm fine, but I want to do life with you because I want to partner with you. I want to work. I want to support you as much as I want you to support me.
Amazing.
I don't want you to. I don't want to die on you, and I don't want you to bleed on me. So that's where I'm coming from.
I love the angle that he's coming from. That's the balance right there.
Yeah,
as a lady,
that's the balance.
As a lady, you should work or get involved in businesses so that you can contribute your own quota to the advancement, or better say, the establishment of the home. I tell people around me that the moment you take sacrifice for marriage, it will be something you are managing, not something you are enjoying. The moment sacrifice is taken away. So if it's going to work, some set of people must come together to make it work. That's how it works. And I want us to also dive a little bit to the video. And there's something critical I think we're missing. And I want us to look into it. These are both believers. These are Christians.
Let's assume.
It's not everybody that goes to a pastor's wife that there's an issue.
Let's assume. So let's assume they are both believers. The question I want to ask is, because I did a research one time, and then I got to realize that 25% of Christian marriage end up in divorce. I mean, that's strange. That's disheartening. That's a very unsettling fact and figure, statistics you see online. So my question is this. What are the ways that Christian marriages can ensure that there is progression in the home, there is peace in the home, there is a whole lot of joy in the home, on the strength of looking at the financial capacity of the two parties? Now, how can we labor to ensure that there is peace in the home? These are both Christian, and one of them is claiming that I can't be the one supplying all the resources needed for the advancement of the home. So my question is, how do we how do we go around that barricade, that barrier of financial instability in the case of one partner is not financially buoyant? How do we go around it? I
think from the story, especially that Jane has told us, first off, communicate. Before you enter, marriage is forever and is a long-term partnership. And before you go into business with anyone, I mean, even if you go into, you're taking a job, your employer will interview you. You guys will talk. He will tell you this is what I can offer you, what I bring to the table so that my organization doesn't die off. You guys are talking before the marriage, into the marriage you are talking, deep into the marriage you are talking, in conflict you are talking, you're not keeping silence. There's no quietness that, oh, okay, this man is the one that is bringing the money, or the woman is the one bringing the money, so everybody should just go off doing what they want to do. There are times, I know of this couple, I just stumbled on this couple, they do monthly reviews about the years. You go, what did we do this month? How did we do? How did our business do? How did we do? Were we good parents as well? What can we change? There's a month, even the content they create, they review it, because the content we create is their business. So they are doing their business together, they are parenting together, it's a partnership. So it's just like a job or workplace. Every month or every week or every morning, we say, okay, this is what we did, what did we do wrong, what did we do right, how can we make it better? There's this review. You guys talk. You talk more in marriage. What I've learned, I'm still single, but I'm learning that you talk more than you touch. And I keep saying this thing that sometimes there are some people that God will even keep single, not because he's not there's no right person, but he's trying to make you right, because there are things that you have to learn
before you.
Are you learning patience? Are you learning conflict resolution, because there are some people in marriage that the husband have not spoken to the woman for 3 months, or the wife have not spoken to the husband for 3 months because of one silly thing. Are you looking for conflict resolution? Who is your spiritual guide? Who are you answerable to? Who do we need to work? What kind of things? If you are going to work and I'm not going to work, what then can we do to bring in the balance? Oh, I want to work, but then for this specific number of years because of the children, I need to stay home or do something. There's communication. If something is not comfortable for you, don't keep silent. Silence. Yeah. You see that silence. It's very terrible.
So one major pillar to keeping a home running and smooth is communication.
Yeah, communication.
I want to agree with you on that, because before now I happen to work in a bank, and there's something we call MPR. It's monthly performance review. We also have QPR, quarterly performance review, where we review individual performances, and then we review general bank performances, or maybe our branch performance. We can now tell you that this year or this month ATM did profit of 19 million, or ATM made profit of 20 million, or the entire branch made this number of millions. I think for me, I see marriage as a business. I see marriage as a venture, as something two people are coming into. So if you come into it, you must have to be doing meetings. These are not emotional. For me, these are not emotional things that you come. No, it's not all lovey-dovey something. It's something you sit down and plan and discuss. Critically discuss. Every morning before we start the business of the day, we do what we call EMS. We have early morning sessions where we discuss, okay, this is how we are going to do today. Then at the end of the month, we review what you have done so far and then see what we are going to adjust. If marriages will be sustained, I know that when rubber hit the road, other things will happen. I'm not married yet. I know that it might not be as easy as I'm saying it, but this is what I have in my mind. That, okay, when I'm getting married, we'll sit down and say, okay, this is how much I earn, this is how much you earn. This is how we can have this and this and achieve this one. Have this and this and achieve this. It should be, we'll set goals, achieve them. That's why it's good that you are not alone. The Bible says one will chase 1,000, but two will chase 10,000. There are things I want to achieve on my own. After I decide today, by tomorrow I've changed my mind. But I'm very sure that if I have a wife that I've decided, we have started to decide it. You understand? Our money is involved, my money is involved, or maybe she doesn't have money yet, but it's my money and she's now involved. I may not be. They say when you get married as a man, you lose the right to be reckless. You understand? So, but as a man, now I can just meet anybody, and the other day somebody just called, I never eat. I forwarded the last money in my account to the person. It can happen anytime because I know that God always does bring back. But when you get married, you can now plan. You understand? So I think that communication, in fact, having targets, you set a target for yourself. This is what we want to do, and your wife will understand. When you are not buying her bags and shoes, she will know that it's because we want to achieve this.
Jane, what do you think? What's your take?
Well, for me, well, I'm going to speak experientially because, of course, yes, I'm not alone. TK mentioned something. He said, you bring what you have, the wife will bring what she has. I remember there was a time when my husband brings his own to the table, brings money or something we need to do financially to the table, and I bring my own too. In fact, we discuss, like he said, communication. It's not like we have not had the discussion before, but we come back, we talk about, okay, this is what his finances can take care of. So this is what mine can take care of. So, that way, it's even beautiful. I don't know why people will even think that, you, a lady being independent, a lady having to bring something to the table is an absurd mindset and all. It is, oh Lord.
Okay, sorry, before we even say that, I've seen in cases where we've been taught as men that you should be able to handle all the responsibilities, that you should not look at your wife's money. Let your wife's money be your wife's money, and let your money be the money.
No, of course, I've heard stuff like that.
I think in certain instances, if your finances as a man can cover for all the needs, please let your wife rest. But in cases where people are trying to build, I think she needs to bring something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I like that you brought this. His money, our money, my money, my money.
Your money is our money.
That's so wrong. That's so like I don't feel like it's a good mindset to have.
I think it has also destroyed a lot of marriages,
Yes,
like he
because
said.
there'll be times that your husband honestly don't have, like probably there's an investment or something, and there's something that Mildred Okonkwo was talking about, how she's more of a saver than her husband.
Yeah.
Her husband is a spender, she's a saver. And then there was a time that there was a downtime, and the Oga said, borrow me 1 million. So don't worry, I'll give you. I think there's this, Pastor Clinton was like, he was very happy, like there was this respect that this woman get money. So that's another way to put it, where there was a concern you raised that there are some women that are working hard to have money so that they can be the man. No, there are actually women who are genuinely, I am one. I'm just joking. Not joking. But there are people who are genuinely working so that if there's any crisis and it requires finances, nobody is
Stranded.
and stranded.
Yeah.
That when Oga doesn't have, we say Oga.
And when you are bringing it, you are not coming to throw it at his face with so much, but like you don't have. Let me just help your life.
No.
Let me just help your life. You know, stuff like that.
Teamwork is partnership. If
Thank
you're not
you.
ready to do
Teamwork.
that thing
Yeah.
with somebody, they say two shall become one. That means two of you join together. Your money is his money. His money
Yes,
is
so
your money.
that mindset,
It's our
please
money.
take it away.
Yes, it's our money. So everybody is being supportive of each other at not just as need be. Once in a while, I know how men melt when you buy them gifts.
Oh my God.
They like it. Yes. So everybody should just have this mindset of, if we are together, we are here to support each other. You're here for me, I'm here for you. We do this together until the Lord Jesus comes.
And for those men too that also don't want their wife to work, please, they should also, try to empower their wife.
Right.
It might not really be so easy, especially for the woman to adjust to having a business of her own, having to do something that she's the boss of. It's not going to be easy to do something on your
Online
own.
training.
Yes, do something. So empowering your wife too is also one of the things that would help to avoid, all of those things. When you empower your wife, you will get the best out of her. Even if she doesn't like it, just do it. So there are many things you don't like. It's not sweet, but at the end of the day, the end is going to be beautiful, and you will love it.
It's all about reasoning. When you reason together.
So that about sums it up for today. I really wish we had enough time, because there's so much I want to talk about. I know there's so much TK, Jane, and Sam will also want to talk about on this matter. But, well, you've seen it all, you've heard it all. Do well to have a mindset of empowerment. If you're a woman, work hard to be strong, not just independent because you want to prove something, but because you want to be a blessing to everyone around you, including your spouse. And if you're a man, support your woman. There's a reason why you're there, as a protector, as a provider. Well, that's about that for now. This is Faith and Reason. Do well to follow us on all our social media platforms. And not to forget, we want to hear from you. Let's hear your comments. Let's hear your suggestions. Are there topics you want us to talk about? Are there things you want to talk about? Let's hear your comments on this episode. We want to hear your stories and anything you would like to share. Do want to comment on all our social media platforms on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and also on X. My name is Ehigochu Agi, and I want to say a big thank you to my dear colleagues and friends, Tokuma Makura and Jane. Y'all are always on fire.
Thank you. Thank you.
My co-host Sam, always a pleasure to do this with you.
I celebrate you.
You're a wise man. And that's it on today's episode. See you next time. God bless you.